This is London with Bitcoin Spike. Today's going to be a primer. We're going to go over the details on Bitcoin. We had a drop. Hit the like button if you got yesterday's video. What was it entitled? Bombshell Resistance. You guys know since the top here, bam. What do we go down? Now, I'm going to go over the primer and smash that like button. It lets me know you appreciate these updates. 4.69% of a drop since we hit the level of resistance. And let's talk about, guys, the pickups currently in play. I want to discuss today the RSI I have on the left. You'll see the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 30 minute, the 1 hourly, the 4 hourly, 8 hourly, the daily, and the weekly. You'll see here on the right hand side, it's a template that I've saved instead of RSI 8 wide. You might want to consider putting all your RSI on one screen. I also welcome you to join our VIP membership, like a side screen that you can focus on while you trade to look for confirmation over bought, over sold. For instance, overbought 1 minute, nearly overbought 5 minutes, right? Just hit oversold 30 minutes. Almost, guys. We'd like to hit the oversold on the 1 hourly at least, and definitely on the 4 hourly. It's been a strong pickup zone on that oversold 4 hourly. On the daily, we have a bit of a trend line dynamic coming into play on the RSI. These are the types of issues that come to light when you have these spread out. I know it's a bit condensed right now for purposes of the video. However, having this in front of your trade station at all times on a separate dedicated screen is a magnificent idea. On the right-hand side, and we're going to go through some Bollinger Bands in a minute, guys. It's going to be a primer, a technical setup primer in terms of what you could have focused around you. I want to shout out to the VIP before we get into the pickup levels. And what did the VIP do today? Tons of, let's look at this, tons of specific trades in Venus, 267%, 156%. Two specific trades, way to short. Nice job, Venus, 135%. Leon, way to trade. And look at this, guys. Anthony coming through with a 235% trade. Very impressive. Nice work, Anthony. Congratulations to anyone who saw yesterday's video entitled Bombshell Resistance. Yeah, it was up there, guys. It was up there. Congratulations to all the VIP who are trading. Now, on the right-hand side of your screen, you're going to see the 1 hourly is on top. The 4 hourly is the mid-level. Then the daily is this bottom line section. What do I have demonstrated here? Well, if we kind of condense out that the hourly, you'll see it is the most aggressively built amongst the three, the most aggressively, and I can expand this for you, but the most aggressively situated low to high structure with the 50% retracement. Your targets, absolutely, that's the hourly. Let's take a look at the 4 hourly, a little bit less aggressive, about a midline function, low to high. These are the types of things that you'd like to have in front of you while you're trading. Guys, to be able to see the overlap, to see the confluence. Let's look at that daily. Again, guys, here we have a 23,198. That about 23,200 is a solid pickup area. Now, as we look at these issues, these are technical parameters. These are technical, and you guys know, very, very highly technical we are. We focus on New York Institute of Finance. There's a reason that we focus on these parameters. After a good, solid trade week, guys, the one thing you don't want to do is give your profits back to the market. One of the things that you can look for is confirmation to ensure, whether it be amongst your specific targets, or, guys, your indicators, etc. I mean, your Fibonacci targets, where's the layover, right? Where's the confluence? Where's the overlap on your Fibonacci targets as you mark up your targets? Where is your confluence? Say we're oversold in 4 out of the 8 were oversold in 4 out of the 8 RSIs. These things become very important as you look for confirmation on your trades. Let's look at patterns. Okay, let's go ahead and look at patterns real quickly. Setting up pattern dynamics as well, having that on a separate screen as well, to where you understand the 5 minute looking like a bullish framework, okay? The level of support, level of resistance, that increased volatility. Now, understand anytime we say a bullish framework, you betcha, guys, these exchanges would love to drop this down into this level. And I'll let you know, if you don't trade, if you don't know how to trade, and you're going to go on a one-statement rule that someone tells you, anyone tells you, me or anyone else, and you're going to operate on that trade, guys, it's the most foolish thing you could do. Learn to trade, get in VIP, execute your 100 rounds. Understand that, yes, on the 5 minute, we have a bullish scenario. We have this expansion, this bump and run variation. We call this a bell. They ring, guys, we like to rock them to the upside, but they can ring either way. They can rock to the upside, bam, or to the downside as well. On the 30-minute, as we would look into this, and I really, really like the framework. Let me go ahead and expand this just a moment here. I appreciate you being a little patient because it's not easy to fit this all on one screen. Let's do this. There we go. The 5-minute time frame, you see the expansion here. It's a little bit easier to see now. Definitely a bullish pattern. I'll get all the kinks worked out with the cramming this into one screen, but what's the point here? The point is you can't fit this all onto your laptop. You can't fit this all onto even one or two screens on your desktop. I need you guys to get multiple screens, and if you're looking at this on a handheld mobile device, you're off in left field. You've got to get a big screen TV, something capable of demonstrating your technicals to you. 99% of trading is visual. So make sure that you're making that step in 2020 as we look at building VIP. We want you to build your trade outfits as well. Looking at the 30-minute, again, this will be a reference in terms of future reference for new VIP and et cetera. Guys, in terms of the 30-minute, we have this expansion. That's a bearish pattern on the 30-minute, leading, expanding diagonal. The anticipation would be at some point to break this line of support. Just a technical fact. So we have immediately short-term bullish, bullish structure, bearish structure on the 30-minute. Now, again, looking at the hourly. Now, this is only 4, but when I talk about an entire screen, would you want to turn it vertical, right? Would you want a vertical screen with 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 time frames of just patterns, right? Would you want 8 RSI individual time frames, bam, on a vertical screen? What is the information that you need in front of you to make proper trade execution? That's the whole theme of this video today. Looking at the 1 hourly, take a look at this as you can compare the bullish 5-minute, the bearish 30-minute. Look at this, guys. We had such a nice, on the hourly, such a nice pennant formation. We really did. We also had a bell formation that we talked about yesterday. I can draw that in, but you guys will remember that. In terms of the expansion, again, we rocked that to the upside. Now, the probabilities on any bell, as we look at a return to a throwback in this level, I did let you guys know in the back, 62% chance, bam, of a throwback on this expansion. The bell, 62% chance. There's a 18 to 20% chance. I'll say 18 to 20% chance that we fail, boom, and head back in this zone. She's just trying not to do that. That's the hourly. Those are the technicals on the hourly. And in terms of the daily and the 4 hourly, very important flat top resistance on the daily. I'm going to tell you guys, she looks like she's holding on to this ascending triangle we've been talking about for days. Looks like she's holding on to that ascending triangle, the flat top resistance, ascending line of support. I'm going to tell you she's going to need a truckload of momentum. You know this, she's going to need a truckload of momentum. And as we discussed yesterday, the line of resistance, which was respected in the preceding trading day, and guys, this is London with Bitcoin Spike. Former hedge fund owner, private, non-SEC, and not financial advice. You guys know that. We celebrate our VIP every day when you guys are trading. Way to trade, guys. Multiple triple-digit returns every single day in VIP. So excited to be a part of that group. This line of resistance was the hammer, guys, whether or not you're on USDT or USD, the Bitcoin USD versus Bitcoin tether pair. Let's say the dollar versus the tether pair, you'll find a little differentiation across the top here. We lined that out yesterday. That was the key measurement. I don't want to mess with my charts right now, but that was the key measurement and focal yesterday. The most important thing that we have, this takes a long time to set up, by the way. Once you get it set up, make sure that your computer does not go down. I'm going to tell you, do not make sure that your computer doesn't go down once you set this up with your patterns, your RSI. I'm going to go through Bollinger Bands in a moment here as well, okay? It's a lot to capably set up and allow to function. But this flat top resistance, ascending line of support, bam. We would want to see this, guys, complete up to the target price of $25,500. Remember that, 25.5. 25.6 would be nice, okay? But we're going to have to ramp up and over with a truckload of momentum, guys. We're going to need the NASDAQ. Essentially, I'm going to say to go green on that macro pattern that it is in. We're going to have to dismiss this 30-minute. Again, when you get into too many factors, well, hey, there's too many variables. London, I can't do this. What am I supposed to do? What do you start to look at? You start to look at all of your indicators, all of your, there you go, guys, all of your RSI. all of your, here we go, bam, I hit a button, and what do we have? Let's go ahead and get into this very quickly. All your Bollinger Bands. Now we're talking, okay, Bollinger Band tactics per New York Institute of Finance. Let me pull this over. Per New York Institute of Finance. Not my idea. New York Institute of Finance. What do they teach, guys? So they recognize in their materials, that's where Wall Street goes to school. That's why we focus on them. We don't focus on YouTube influencers. We focus on where Wall Street goes to school. VIP, Top Shelf, TA. Guys, we focus on the tactic that Bollinger Band traders use. As you look at the left-hand side, the 5-minute, the 30-minute, the 1 hourly, 4 hourly, the 8 hourly, or the daily. And this is just a setup example. Again, would you want this on one screen, a completely separate screen, to always be aware of when you have a crossover of this 20 moving average? The 20 moving average is a standard feature of the Bollinger Bands. You'll see that in pink. Anytime that there's a breakthrough and a nice candle set over or under the 20 moving average. The 20 moving average is that midline function, the pink line. What will occur is once we've broken through either the top, then the target will become the top band. Once we've broken through the bottom, then the target will be the bottom band. So that applies to every time frame. I'll say because it's recognized by New York, excuse me, New York Institute of Finance. The throat is a little bit sore. Excuse me, guys. Working on the common cold just a little bit this week, but I'm going to keep this. This tape going. The New York Institute of Finance recognizes this tactic. So we recognize it in terms of being valid. What I'll say is anytime that you're looking at this specific framework, the Bollinger Bands, what I want you to do is to backtest it on any specific time frame that you are going to implement this strategy on. If you're going to break, let's say the 30-minute is about to potentially break the 20 moving average. If you can get up and over with the candle, and I'll say it may matter what type of candle. If you're into candle works, we don't want a reversal candle up and over with an expectation of going to the upside. Gets a little complicated, a little bit advanced in terms of your technicals. Some of you guys are capable of this. We'll work on that in 2022. For right now, it's an up and over. Top line becomes the target. Down and under from the top side. Down and under break underneath. The downside becomes the target, okay? You'll see that downside break, downside. The downside Bollinger Band becomes the target. The break to the upside band becomes the target. So I'm going to bring this up as a tactic and, again, a measurement for you to, let's say a consideration for you to bring to your trade setup. Would you want the 5-minute, 30-minute, 1 hourly, 4 hourly, 8 hourly, daily, right, set up for the Bollinger Band? I think it would be phenomenal to see the VIP setting up their screens. Guys, I like them vertical. I like my Bollinger Bands. I like my RSI. I like my MACD. You guys know this. I like my MACD. Let's see if I can pull up my MACD very quickly. And these are all individual separate screens, just so that you know. I like all of these put into play so that I can fully review the technicals on every trade that I'm in the process of doing. You've seen me go through the MACD last several days. What I'm going to say right now, if I'm going to focus on one specific thing, it's going to be the daily pattern. It is front and center. Let's go ahead and measure that up with the 4 hourly pattern. I hope that this has been helpful to you in terms of how to set up a trade station. You don't need, guys, a real fast computer on one screen. Guys, and one screen. You don't need that. You need all the information in front of you to make a valid decision and to gauge the confirmation that we're always talking about. Confirmation, agreement amongst the time frames. Okay, confirmation is not a price line move. It's not. It's up and over. Guys, listen to me, please. It's not, we're confirming. It's up and over. We're confirming prior resistance as support, and we're moving to the upside. Confirmation is all of your indicators and action and indications, those indicators on all of your time frames. It includes all your time frames, all your indicators. That is the New York Institute of Finance definition. That's what Wall Street considers to be confirmation. We put it on the quick, often on the daily prior resistance, confirming as support. Yes, but understand it, BIP. with Bitcoin spike, with me, guys, with Wall Street. Understand that confirmation means all of your indicators, okay, are in the same direction, right? We consider all that information. So the daily right now, this level to hold is extremely important, and I'm going to go through, we're going to finish up on one thing. Before I tell you that, yes, and this is what the nice thing about this on the daily that I have to point out is after this flat top resistance here, we did just perfectly set this area on the daily chart. Do you see that nice little bend right here thus far? It's a nice daily set. Again, the Nasdaq I think is definitely going to set the tone, and it's in a make or break circumstance. You understand the news on Wednesday, CPI, was very, very beneficial towards the market, but people kind of backtracked a little bit today. There was a sentiment on the market that maybe things went too far in terms of the equities, that the Fed is still a bit hawkish, is still going to deploy what's going to be necessary to really bring down the parameters of a broader scope, let's say a broader scale inflationary issue beyond just us having one good surprise report. So with that said, we like the patterning on the NASDAQ. We like the patterning on the daily. And what I'm going to go back to in terms of a recourse measure, before I lose my voice here, and I've lost it a few times today, but before I get into that, let me go ahead and save the pattern framework. And I'll teach you how to do, but guys, it's setting up templates. It's loading when you load a new layout. Load a new layout. You'll set it up exactly as you want to. Then you'll rename. You load, guys, a new layout. You can load a pre-existing layout, or you can formulate a new layout here, and then you'll rename it. Once you rename it, it's something you can call back up upon your discretion, i.e. if we want to get back into the Fibonacci's, right? Immediately, bam, I load back up the Fibonacci's. Now, the good thing about having all of this laid out next to you full time is that you don't need to reload. You never have to lose the information. Like, what were we just looking at? Guys, what were we just looking at? How many of you had to think about that? What charts were we just looking at on the right-hand side? I'm going to tell you, when you trade, you're going to run into this same issue. I'm going to tell you, it's very important to fully scope out exactly what you're doing, and don't give yourself, as you're trading for 5 hours and 8 hours and 10 hours, right? Don't make it a challenge that no one could pass. You're looking at, you've got just on the screen here, let's just look at this. You know, if I put you through a test, I'm going to tell you a real capable test right now. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 time frames with Bollingers on them. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 time frames with additional pattern formations on them. Guys, we've got 10 time frames represented on either, and it's the same time frames, but cross-representation on 10 different charts, we'll say that. So when you transfer into something else, guys, your memory capabilities, your stamina is only so much. You can only deal with so much. So when I flip to something brand new, we were looking at patterns. Guys, we were just talking about that flat top resistance, ascending line of support. Just went back to it. In terms of the Fibonacci's, I want to go to the Fibonacci's, but just to kind of prove that point, the important aspect here is the following. Keep this information in front of you. Keep it in front of you. Don't let it disappear. Don't put it behind the other windows. Don't put off, guys, in terms of building your trade setup in 2022. Don't let it be a project for 2023. Don't do that to yourselves, guys. I want to see you develop. I want to see you have this information in front of you. The key focal here are your orders below, picking up on the most aggressive Fibonacci levels at the 23.6 right now. And I'm just going to invite you to draw your own Fibonacci's. You understand the low to the high right now. Include the 86, include that 65th percentile. The macro is the sweet spot. I'm going to tell you that's the one sweet spot as we march up to new higher highs. This critical 23.6 becomes that sweet spot. That 23,200 is. It would be great to pick up a nice heavy-handed hammer down to that level. We would love to do that. I will hit that level hard. Personally, I will hit that level very hard. I want to shout out to the VIP again. I hope this has been informational. I hope this has been guys, not only informative, but just guys, important in 2022. We are building VIP, the hourly, 4-hourly, and daily here. The Bollinger Bands. You understand the strategy. We're talking about these are facets from the New York Institute of Finance. These are tactics from New York Institute of Finance, where Wall Street goes to school. If you want to beat the market, if you trade, if you're wanting to beat the market and you're trading and you're not beating the market, or if you're already beating the market, what we want you to do is beat the market with us, guys. Look at Leon today, 135%. Looking at, let's see where we're at here. I want to make sure we go through these just properly. In terms of the returns today in the back, 156%, 267%. Venus killing it in the back today. Very impressive. Leon, very impressive. And Anthony, 235%. Those are just today. Yesterday, we lit up the screen so hard. I know it literally was difficult to believe the types of returns that VIP, our trade group, are producing. Those are real one-day returns, guys. One-day returns. Yesterday's returns. Unbelievable. In terms of the specific link, this link here will allow you to join the #1 trade group. This is London, former hedge fund owner, private non-SEC, and this is not financial advice. It's not a security Bitcoin, so guys, you can't give financial advice on something that's not a security, but in spite of such, this is one of the reasons we love to trade it. I'll tell you, once you join BIP, and guys, we'll put you in the winner's circle, we'll get you involved in a hedge, we'll make sure you know what you're doing in leverage. Shout out to Leon. Guy, you're doing great, guy. Hit the first pin tweet after you join. Put I am VIP. Boom. Don't put off to today what you can do to. Don't put off to tomorrow. Excuse me, guys. What you can do today. I got to say, I am tired. And, yeah, my throat is just gone. Seasonal cold, allergy, whatever it is. So I'm trying to make it through this. I just had some Mucinex. I don't think that'll make me loopy, but maybe it did a little bit. I don't think it did, though. Anyway, put I am VIP. Too much information. It must have done a trick, huh? Some Mucinex. I had to have some cold medicine. So I am VIP. This is your invitation to join. And guys, we welcome you to join in 2022. I appreciate all your patience. Good video. And I'm going to keep it like this. If I get any funny comments at the end, that means somebody actually listened to the entirety of the video. That would be incredible, because I imagine that if people are thinking about joining, they probably don't even make it this far into the video to get the proper invitation and welcome, etc., etc. I would just invite you guys to join from the bottom of our hearts and our trade group. That's what we want, guys. And this is London with Bitcoin Spike. I'll leave this as is. Hope you guys are doing well. And I am a little bit under the weather. I just am a little bit under the weather, but the weather's not like this forever. You know, it's just it's a 3 or 4 day deal. I think. I don't know. It's just it's the cough. I think it's pollution in the air, to tell you the truth. Anyway, guys, we'll get going. This is London with Bitcoin Spike. Watch your Fibonacci's. Watch your MACD. Watch your Bollinger Bands. Watch your RSI. There we go, guys. Watch your, what is it? Fibonacci, your Bollinger Bands. Watch your MACD. Watch your RSI. Watch your patterns. That's 5 right there, guys. If you have another side screen for execution, that's 6 screens. 6 screens. Just with your Fibonacci's, your Bollinger Bands, your RSI, your MACD. Guys, you get this, your patterns, and then your execution. That's 6 screens. Guys, throw them vertical. Get them up in front of you. Let's be that trade group that everybody's talking about. They already are, guys. And I know the ones, some of the ones that are talking about us in a favorable light are some of the ones who haven't won like we've won. So this is a good thing. We want to be inviting, and I appreciate all of you guys. This is London with Bitcoin Spike. Let's build it in 2022. Let's get it done.